What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we are checking out the Physician overdrive pedal from Westminster Effects. Let's do it! All right, hope you guys are doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, what the hell is wrong with you, man? My name is Kyle. What I do is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E standard thrash riffs, dropsy hardcore riffs, and dudes who have a crusty booger in their nose and is driving them nuts, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on the way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks. All right guys, so today on the channel we have another overdrive pedal. This is the Physician overdrive pedal from my buddy Cody over at Westminster Effects. I've had a number of Cody's pedals on the channel, and honestly, they always do exactly what he says that they're gonna do. They always deliver on their promises, and one thing that I love about that is they're not overhyped in their explanation or anything like that. They're not touted on the Westminster website as tone so good it's going to open a portal to heaven. They're not gonna beam your belligerent ass tone into the ears of your crush and make them immediately fall in love with you, but they are going to give you a solid overdrive sound, not only in front of a high gain amplifier, but when used as a traditional overdrive as well. So I'm gonna show you guys that today. The Physician is essentially a modified TS9. I can already see your guys' eyes rolling on the other side of the camera, but you know what? All this is another option that you don't have to buy if it doesn't appeal to you, so keep that in mind. Also, Cody sent this pedal to me and has paid me in order to share this with you guys here on the channel, so this is a paid review. Feel free to take everything that I have to say with a massive grain of salt. You are more than fair to do so, but I'm gonna give you guys my honest thoughts and opinions, as I always do. Keep that in mind. So what is different about the Physician versus a standard TS9 Tube Screamer, which we will compare it directly to? There are a few things that Cody told me. Number one, it's got more output. Always a plus in my opinion. More is better than not more. I think that's the old saying. It also has a slightly different style of clipping, which will result in more gain if you are using the gain control at all. And there is no input or output buffer like there is on the TS9. So if you're a little buffer bitch, you don't want a buffer in your overdrive pedal, this pedal is going to deliver on that promise. I have no idea what I just said. And finally, if you're somebody who hates how much bass the TS9 cuts out of your signal, you're gonna like the Physician because it leaves your low end intact a little bit more. And on top of that increased output, I overall just think that this is a preferable pedal to the standard TS9, but I'll let your ears do the deciding. I almost said do the talking. That would have made absolutely no sense. All right, I'm already going off the rails and we're 4 minutes into this video. So that intro clip that you guys heard, we were going into my 5150 Iconic. We've got a pair of beautiful angled 2x12 cabinets with vintage 30s in them. Felt like mixing it up a little bit because I like to have a good time. SM57 on that V30. So we're gonna check it out with this guitar. We're gonna check it out on the clean channel as an actual overdrive. We're gonna see how well this does with something like a 7-string, and then I'm also gonna check it out on a JCM 2000 and on a dual rectifier. So we've got a lot to do. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Again, here is the tone of the 5150 with the pedal off. Turn it on. So a lot more saturation. We definitely have a good sized mid bump, and our low end has stayed mostly intact actually. So just to show you guys how that compares, here is a TS9 setup with the exact same dials as we have on this pedal. All right, so as you guys can hear, the TS9, a lot less output, a little bit more nasally in the mids, and definitely cuts a lot of that bass. So just to show you guys how they compare directly, I'm gonna play a quick riff starting on the TS9, and then I'll switch over to the Physician back to back so you guys can hear how they sound back to back. Yeah, I actually really dig how much low end that keeps intact, especially on a 5150 through a tight cab. Let's go ahead and let's set this pedal up as if we were boosting a clean amp. I'm gonna dime the gain just so you guys can see how much gain that this pedal has on intact, on board intact, something, words. And I'm gonna set the Tube Screamer up the exact same way again, just so you guys can see how they compare as a traditional overdrive. So TS9, honestly, way less saturated, a lot less volume, even with the volume actually slightly higher on the TS9. So let's keep that gain fully dimed out. I pulled the tone up a little bit, and let's see how well this thing actually cleans up. Cleans up pretty much all the way, so that's pretty impressive with the amount of gain that you're getting out of this pedal. But we don't play stupid weak boy music, so that is enough of messing around on the clean channel of this amplifier. We've heard how it sounds on a 5150. Now let's check it out on a dual rectifier style circuit. Not style circuit, a dual rectifier. All right guys, so the pedal is now set up on my multi-watt dual rectifier. We are on the orange channel, the vintage setting. Here is the amp with no pedal. All right guys, so as you can hear, it adds a lot of saturation. It definitely cuts some lows, but not a lot. It doesn't cut a lot of the low end off. With an amp like the dual rectifier, even through these tight front-loaded angle cabs, I still like something that cuts a little bit more front end in front of the amp. Let's go over to the actual red channel, to the modern setting. We're actually gonna go to drop C as well. And here's the amp without the pedal, and then we will kick the pedal on. So again, it's not cutting quite enough low end for my taste on something like a dual rectifier. Let's check it out in a Marshall JCM 2000 DSL, because I think it's really gonna shine in front of that amp that lacks low end and lacks output. And by output, I mean gain. All right, guys, last but not least, we've got the pedal hooked up to my Marshall JCM 2000 DSL50. It's actually one of my favorite amps on the planet. And I also recently found out that the Legendary Tones hot mod works in this. So if you guys would like to see a video of me revisiting this amp with that mod, let me know. But anyways, here is the amp unboosted. We will kick on the boost so you guys can see how it sounds with your ears. So as you guys can see, massive difference on this 2000. This thing is taking the overdrive really well, actually. I really like how it's sounding. This overdrive is slightly more nasal than a regular TS9, which is already nasal, and I think that's because it doesn't cut quite as many of the lower mid frequencies, but it's working really well on this. We can turn the middle back a little bit. Let's bump up our deep and our bass. Let's get just a tad more gain on there, and let's roll that presence and treble back just a tad. So this should really suit the overdrive really well. Let's go ahead and hear it with a TS9, and then I'll compare it directly to the Physician just so you guys can see how it compares to a stock TS9. So as you guys can hear, the Physician gives the amp a little bit more of a beefier chug. The TS9 is a little thinner, a little bit more metallic. The TS9 is a little bit thinner, a little bit more metallic, a little bit clankier. This one is just fatter, juicier, gives more output, and just overall more saturation. Anyways, last but not least, let's check it out with a 7-string, see how it pushes a 7-string into this amp. And then we'll call it a day. All right, guys, so lastly, we have a 7-string in drop A going into the Marshall. I'll try it without the boost, and then I will kick the boost on mid-riff. Here's how it sounds. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for me today on the Westminster Effects Physician Overdrive. What do you guys think about this thing? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm curious to see how you think it stacks up to the TS9. Is this an overdrive that you think that you could benefit from if you've always been one of those people that hates how much a TS9 takes out of the low end, or thinks that it is overall just too bright, too thin sounding, not enough output? Whatever it is, let me know down below in the comments of this video, and I'll meet you down there to chat about it. If you want to pick this up, I will put a link down below for you to do so. They are $149, and keep in mind, guys, this is an all US-based company. These are made here by Cody in the United States, so you are supporting a small US-based business when you buy these. And I know that to a lot of you guys, that matters a lot. So just want to make sure that you know that. The link that I provide will also be an affiliate link, so I will earn money off the sales if you guys do provide to buy, what? Words is hard now. If you guys do decide to buy the Physician Overdrive, so no pressure to buy it, but if you do and use that link, I greatly appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to Westminster Effects for providing the pedal and sponsoring this video. Kyle here again. We'll see you guys next time. I don't know what that was. I don't know. Sorry. So what is different about the Physician versus a standard? So what is different about the Physician versus a standard? What the fuck?